Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is your May general reading for the sign of Cancer. So that's Sun, Moon, Rising. If you don't know your other placements other than the Sun, then there is a link in the description down below to get yourself a birth chart, as ever. There is also a link down there for the Facebook page for this channel where you can see these videos, and I tend to post all of the weather report type astrology videos that I watch, so I try to make it a bit of a one-stop shop. Now, as a general reading rules apply, obviously. So what this means for me is either this reading is for you or it isn't. In total, there is a past and a present on this spread. So if the past and the present don't fit, then it's not for you. Go and watch your moon, go and watch your rising, go and watch your Venus. However, timing is not absolute, never is with tarot or any form of divination for that matter, really, apart from maybe astrology, and even then there's wiggle room. And if someone else appears in the reading, I can get you and them mixed up. It doesn't happen a lot, but it can happen. Now, what I would like you to do is ask a question prior to the reading. So pause the video if you need to, think about all of the questions that are around you at the moment and focus on one of them. But be aware of all of them, because cards will answer what they want and not necessarily what you and I think is the highest priority, let's put it that way. So as ever, also to refer you for that Facebook page, it's got its own inbox. So if you want to contact me for a personal reading, that's the best way to do it. There is a link tree down there so you can get my email and what have you. But really, the Facebook page is the best place to do it. So, yeah, that's it. That's my waffle done. God, I'm getting quicker and quicker at my waffle. 2 minutes. So, to quote Philly D, smash that like button. And feel free to subscribe while you're here, because it does help. It really does help. And let me bring the cards up. So the first thing that I notice is, if I can find the right button, there we go. The first thing that I notice is the bottom of the decks. We have Queen of Wands, High Priestess, and the Eight of Vessels here as rebirth. But this is an Eight of Cups. And it's less walking away from something as it is approaching something new. Or I want to say, actually, it's more approaching something with new eyes. That's the feeling that I get about it, because with that Queen of Wands, it's something that you have set into motion. It's something that your intuition has been leading you towards. And with Nine of Swords at the top here in your present position is something that you're stressing about. Let's see how you're feeling. So, yes, you've been putting a lot of work into something that you've been feeling good about it. You've been feeling that, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is going to create that new beginning for me. And I am expecting to be getting a harvest from it. But there seems to be trouble up at mill. Nine of Swords, clarified with the Five of Swords beneath. Seven of Cups beneath that. Right, let me do it so the light doesn't reflect. So, this really feels like there's some form of conflict around you that I believe you feel is unjust or unbalanced. A sort of a big bully energy. You know, like some 7'6" guy picking on a 4'4" person. However, I really like this Five of Swords that comes with it. Now, I must admit, for some of the more negative cards, of which you could assume the Five of Swords is one of them, I can often take sort of slightly alternative interpretations for, but this one, especially in the Chinese tarot, it feels like a dance. It feels like a skill. So what this is telling me is that whatever this conflict, this unbalanced conflict is, or unjust is another way to look at it, where you're feeling that you don't have the freedom to move, you will be surprised. The room that you have to move is being limited by the situation, yes. But it's also, you're being hemmed in so that you try a different approach. You can't move out of the way of this. You can't, go to the next room, go to the next town, go to the next country, whatever. It is something where you need to look at the fine detail. That's what it's telling me. Because it's, rather than having the room to move, it's very much an idea with these two cards of like close quarters combat. So it's important what you are doing, that you are boiling down onto the finer details, of which you have several options. Okay, in this situation, whatever it is, it's revealing something to you. And I think that there's multiple ways that you can interpret what it is that it's revealing. However, there's also multiple ways that you can react, multiple ways that you can get down to those fine details. This is, believe it, yes, right. Knight of Wands, Knight of Staves, Knight of Wands, and Ten of Vessels. This combat, this disagreement, this standing up to the large bully, whatever it is actually to your benefit here. And it is the start of this new beginning that you've already been working towards. Something that is like, I will heal if I go in this direction. Yes, you will. But this is a healing that you have to work at. This is not just, let me just bask into the cosmic energies and let it rebuild all the cells in my body sort of thing. It is, no, I have this issue, I have this wound, I have this injustice, I have this, the words on the right tip of my tongue. I want to say like a monkey on your back, but I don't, that normally means addiction, so I don't quite mean it that way. But whatever the issue is, like physiotherapy, you have an injury and you heal from the injury, and then you heal properly by going through the physical therapy to get your full range of motion back. And I think that this situation that you're in now is almost, it's like physiotherapy, getting your full range of motion back, because the important thing is not the large movements, it's those fine motor skills, i.e. working in that close quarters. Sorry, words are not working for me today, which is rather bad considering the channel that I do. Right, so there is support from friends with this. And you may be surprised, because I rather feel that there's people that you feel could be helping you and you don't think that they are, but they are. This is what this Three of Cups, they're helping you in ways that makes you that really, you look at whatever they're doing and it's like, well, what help is that? You'll see. That is going to show itself. It's going to explain itself, because the burden is being controlled. The burden is being distributed to more than just you. However, the pressure of that burden on you is so great that you won't necessarily notice when other people are taking the weight, because the bit that you've got is still quite heavy. But it's like when moving house, if you are left to move a Welsh dresser on your own, you're going to struggle. But while you're moving that Welsh dresser on your own, all the other furniture's gone because other people are doing that, or they're upstairs packing boxes or what have you. So you can't see the help that you're receiving, but there is help that's out there. And Queen of Arrows, so arrows are swords in this Wildwood Tarot, which I have to say is not my favourite tarot, but I get it. certain people are cutting away certain efforts or certain actions because they can see further into the future and therefore are saying, yeah, there's no point doing this because it's useless. I'm going to do this instead because that is what is going to bring the results in. So 10 of cups here, and we had 10 of cups here, didn't we? 10 of vessels. I think you are going to be pleasantly surprised, and this current conflict, whatever it is a blessing in disguise. It's a boon for you. It's something that's really, really useful, something that is creating new fields of happiness or new fields of, no, I'm going to stick with happiness. You know, as I could say bounty, or I could say harvest, or all of those sort of things. But the work that you put in now, your ships will come in, or are coming in. And that may create quite a bit of debate, quite a bit of discussion, to put it at the very least. But the dream that you have to offer, the one thing that you are wanting to present to the world out of this is, once you've finished going through this conflict, which is a healing journey for you, I know it won't appear like it, but it is a healing journey for you. It's almost like literally the standing up to the bully concept, that you're developing your confidence afterwards. You're realizing that, you're realizing what a multi-pronged assault is, for one thing, because bear in mind, with that 7 of vessels, but with the friends that are helping, you're not seeing how they are helping what you are doing, because they're not helping what you are doing. They are doing their own thing, which is helping, if that makes sense. You know, but will lead to frustration on your part, because you're like, I'm doing all this, and you don't necessarily get to see that they're going, yeah, and we're doing stuff too, and you'll see the benefit of it. So, you know, shut up. So yeah, let them get on with it. And yeah, what you've got is quite the weight, but it is worth it. This is what I'm really feeling. This Ace of Cups here. 5 of Wands is showing that the debate, but also teamwork. That is, in fact, I'm immediately reminded of, what was his name? The boss guy out of A-Team. So there's BA, Face, the mad one, and the one with the cigar. So it's the one with the cigar and the white hair that I'm thinking of. You know, the whole, I love it when a plan comes together. And that is that moment that is coming, that you love it when a plan comes together, even though you can't necessarily see the greater plan that's going on here. Because I'm noticing that other people seem to be quite a source of stress for you at the moment. But I think your anxiety is unwarranted. One thing, I do think there is a divisive influence around you that is almost trying to, it appears to you like they're trying to split up your team. And that's why the other people are doing their thing that is helping, rather than helping you do your thing. Because they are having faith in you to conquer the bit that you're conquering. And King of Bows. But I'm seeing this as a recognition of wisdom on their part and on your part. So the bit that you're doing, admittedly, you probably feel like you're doing it on your own, but the bit that you're doing is important and will gain recognition, even as much as you think you've been doing it on your own, which your part of it you have. then there is, its influence is going to be felt and it will grow. Moon on water here. But what I'm also, so I'm feeling like that tidal influence of the moon, but also it's reflected in the lake. So it's almost like what you have been working on or are working on and fighting at the moment, that effect will be seen, and the seeing of that effect multiplies the effect, if that makes sense. And the other reason that I'm going with this, I meant to look up Israfel, the angel of song. Ah, yes, this is the one that heralds the end times. But I also noticed that his horn is not to his lips in this card. And he can herald a lot more than just the end times. He can herald pretty much anything of any importance. So there is a big time coming. And it's all dependent on this conflict that you're going through at the moment. We have Lilith, the thief of life, representing here hunger, animalism, and instinct. Now, I'm rather feeling here that this is representing the force that you are fighting against, that sort of almost all-devouring force that you are fighting against. A force that's going, that's mine, and that's mine, and that's mine, like it's the cat off of Red Dwarf, apart from it's also Monsanto. You know, this, but this is giving you energy. This is giving you new skills, like I said, fine motor skills. We have the trust card out of the Queen of Moon. So there's the whole Queen of the Moon Oracle. So there's the whole trust the process. The Horus Bark, or the Sunboat, talks about sacred union. It's a new tarot oracle deck, this one. So I will grab it because there was something else that it said. Because again, there's this sense of voyage and transmutation throughout the voyage. So this is not an initiation. You've been through your initiation. That's probably in this pile here, which I haven't looked at yet. But the that was what it was saying. Have fun while you're doing it, right? Is that what it is? Yeah. This is a time to, absolutely, it's a pain in the backside. It really is. There's it's even having to stand up to whatever it is. However, this thing is there and therefore needs to be stood up to. And I really feel that embracing, it's almost like a divine warrior thing going on. Embracing this struggle, you're going to, whether you win the struggle or not is irrelevant, because you come out of this struggle a winner, if that makes you say. So I don't know whether you win the struggle, but when you come out of the struggle, you're ending up in a better place than you were before this struggle started. So I'm really, really liking this, because also from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, two cards jumped out. If you notice my shuffle video, oh no, that side. If you notice my shuffle video earlier, we had Hahaia with Refuge was the second card to come out, but also, oh god, Aila here. I don't even remember this card being in there. I do not recognise that angel name at all, but I've seen the card before with the word success on it. I must have dimension hopped again or something, because I'm sure it was a completely different angel that had success on it last time. I just do not recognise that particular angel there at all. Let me just bring it back a bit. How weird. But there is success here for you. What I would say is, especially with this trust card, and then we've got the Isis card, which is saying about enveloping yourself in the love of the Divine Mother, and we've got Metatron. about uniting with the source of all goodness, love, and creativity. Trust this process. And it's really easy to trust the process when everything's going swimmingly and everything's going lovely, and it's like, oh, and I'm learning this and I'm seeing that. No, this is a fight. This is a fight with presumed consequence, but more important, it's more important that the fight is fought rather than the fight is won, if that makes sense. I'm feeling very little attachment to victory or loss in whatever this particular fight is. But what's important, it's not the winning that counts, it's the taking part. And that does seem to be which is probably when you're all hyped up for a specific result, not what you want to hear. But there's so much to be gained from entering into this fight. I mean, because you're hoping for a new beginning. You're hoping for... Oh. So, the Fool, Two of Cups, and this is the hopes and fears pile, and Seven of Arrows, who always reminds me of Poison Ivy, apart from the fact that Green Arrows obviously had a go at her, because she's got numerous arrows sticking out of her. So... there is both a hope and fear for a new beginning here. With that Two of Cups, it's either you are concerned that you may be swallowed by, well, whatever this force is that you're fighting against, and you're being turned into a little yes man, or that there is the fear of some form of union breaking or splitting up. Either way, whether it's the union coming together or the union being split asunder, there is that fear there about it. Now, I do not like this Two of Cups. For some reason, normally I love the Two of Cups because, I mean, hey, who wouldn't? But this couple, I don't know. It feels like he's lying to her, or she's lying to him. Let's not be gender. Somebody's lying to somebody on this card. And it's almost like they are stuck on the banks of the Nile here, and the boats are going past and leaving them be. So whatever this union is, however it is organized, I think a reawakening of this union or a commencement of this union is something to be feared, is something to be concerned with. And it's because it's almost like, if the union was to occur, it's like, all right, I'll do what you say then. And this is not the time for you to, submit. Oh, that'll be a good reading, good title for the reading. Hopefully I'll remember it by the time I've stopped recording. Let's have a look at the past building up to this, because there's some lesson that you've had in the past. Okay, you have been here before. You've been trapped by tradition. You have made slow progress before, but you've had the strength to go forward with something that felt right. Now, I will say that I think you succeeded in whatever this battle was in the past, and it opened up more options for you than what you was actually expecting. But it also very much taught you the value of what battles to fight and what battles to not fight. And I think I really feel that it may have taught you the values of what battles not to fight as well. This one isn't a battle not to fight. This is one to dive in, because everybody is playing a role here. So almost, I'm tempted to say whether you're the good guy or the bad guy, it doesn't matter. Everybody is evolving through this process, you and whoever you're fighting against. And when all said and done, whoever it is that you're fighting against, you want them to evolve. You want them to, that if you are fighting with them, it's because somewhere along the line, let's be highly judgmental about this, because yeah, all hippie woo woo aside, we can't help but be judgmental. If you are trying to affect some form of societal change, for example, then you think that there is something wrong with society in the first place for that change to be required. I know that's a metaphor I always go through, but that's you want to evolve, you want to get better, and you want whoever you are interacting with to also evolve and get better, whether that's your friend or your enemy, because basically the more people evolving, the better. Right, so I'll get off my soapbox. Yes, so learning the value of what battles to fight. You won a battle in the past, but it ended up that it remained that you ended up losing something in the process, and that made you think that you really didn't want to necessarily jump any more in that direction because you were swimming upstream. But you found something else to completely focus on. And you found yourself propelled into a new situation where, right, so it was almost like oh God, this again. Yes, this again, absolutely this again. Because there's something here that you're not seeing that you could take a lot of joy in. And rather, you are being called to be some form of warrior. Because I know that the reaction may be, I really don't want this fight. But the truth of the matter is that, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, because you'll be better for it. Whether you win or lose, you will be better for it. So I'm hammering the same point home all over again here. So let's have a look at a potential future. High Priestess, 5 of Coins, Page of Vessels, so Page of Cups. So that can obviously be a love offer, but I don't do love readings, so it's not. But it is implying to me that a little bit of emotional dexterity in the near future won't be a bad thing. Follow your intuition on that and you will be guided and you will be protected. But absolutely you need to stand up to this confrontation in an organized fashion, and things will change really, really quickly. Now, final outcome pile. Yeah, things are going to change. The values that you're working with are going to change. So trust this process, even though I do think there's the attitude of, oh God, I really don't want to do this. As I said, I think I've remembered, now is not the time to submit. Now is not the time to give up. Get in there, get your gloves on, wait for the bell and go for it. Knight of Cups here, there is some form of growing emotion, growing dream, growing satisfaction, or maybe even growing love that is occurring all the way through this. For instance, so this could be some form of breakup with legal issues. So whether that's the breakup of a company, a breakup of a contract of employment, a relationship breakup, I'm not going to enter politics one into that. Some form of breakup where it's already occurring, it's already happening. It's already happened, and you're in that. legal battleground, or you're in that someone's trying to do something and you're like going, no, this is not to be done. Or you might be the one trying to do something and a bigger force is standing against you saying, no, you can't do this. But yes, you can. But for the time being, narrow your focus, go on the fine details. Yeah, you don't have a lot of wiggle room, but you are going to gain the skill of wiggling really, really well, so in a way that creates a result for you. Now, since I drew the ISIS card, I thought I would grab the ISIS Oracle. I might as well grab the book because, again, I highly recommend this Oracle. They're really thought-provoking, really good for personal use. But no, I do not know all these cards off by heart yet, because you can see the size of the book that comes with it, and it's really, really small print. There is a lot of information there to take on board. But since the ISIS card came out of the Anubis Oracle, okay, this one then. Oh my God. That was the one that when I grabbed this, tipped it out of the box, this card jumped out at me. Chariot of Ascension. Spiritual work of the higher initiate. Now, I think with a title like that, I don't necessarily even need to look at the book, because you're in a training program at the minute. That's why I want to say here, you are in a training program, and that is what is, whoever this adversary is, as much as I've been calling them the enemy throughout this reading, they are not your enemy, because the whole point of this is you evolve, they evolve. And this is, we're going to take more like a Mortal Kombat, with a K, look at this, where the skills that are ever increasing from all the parties involved, and that increase of skill is what this whole process is for. Now, is there anything else that... No, that's the lot, Cancer. I hope this means something to you. If it does, please comment down below, even if it's just, yeah, I understood the reading, because it's really nice to know when these readings hit home, and when that I know that they're getting to the place that they need to get to. Okay, so in which case, like I said, smash that like button, subscribe, join the Facebook page, message me for a personal reading if you want one, and I think that's your marching orders, but that's assuming that you have time with all of this other stuff going on. So best of luck, Cancer, and remember here, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. What matters is that you do not give up. It's not the winning, it's the taking part. Cheers.